Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a fascinating and honestly kind of frustrating moment in modern intellectual debate. Mr. Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists. The question is or was Peterson hedging again? Dr. Jordan Peterson, Canadian psychologist, cultural commentator, and best selling author, has long walked a fine line when it comes to matters of faith. In interviews, debates, and lectures, he's often pressed to clarify, does he believe in God? Is he a Christian, or is he just borrowing the symbolism to advance a psychological framework? In one particular panel with about 20 prominent atheists, thinkers, skeptics, and academics, Mr. Peterson was again asked directly about his beliefs, and what follows was, well, typical Peterson. When challenged point blank, are you a Christian? Or do you believe in the literal resurrection? Peterson represent not with a yes or no, but with a philosophical essay. Peterson answered indirectly, it depends on what you mean. This is classic Peterson. Instead of affirming or denying, he interrogates the question. He redefines the term, and wish this works great in psychological lecture, in a theological or ideological debate. It comes off as evasive. So was he hedging? In debate and rhetoric, hedging is when someone avoids taking a clear stance to avoid potential backlash or contradiction. It's like theological dodgeball, and critics, both Christians and atheists, have accused Peterson of exactly that. To be fair, Peterson has said he acts as if God exists and claims the Judeo Christian ethics is foundational to Western values, but that's not same as believing in the divinity Christ, is it? Now, let's give him some credit. Maybe he isn't hedging. Maybe Peterson truly sees religion as more than a binary, more as a lived metaphor or a psychological necessity. To Peterson, God may represent the highest ideal, not a bearded man in the sky, and that makes it hard to give a straightforward yes or no to a question that is framed in a theological term. But here is the issue. If you stand on stage with 20 atheists and your position yourself as the religious guy, the moral compass, the defender of meaning, your kind have an obligation to your audience, a clear answer. Jordan Peterson is a brilliant thinker, no doubt, but in the matter of belief versus disbelief, clarity matters, and in this case, he left the door open, maybe a little too wide. The original title was A Christian versus 20 Atheists, a spin off of Alex O'Connor, One Atheist versus 20 Christian. But in this YouTube video, Mr. Peterson never identified as a Christian. which prompted the renaming of the title to Jordan Peterson versus 20 Atheists. But Mr. Peterson was once a transforming, incisive voice, but this performance turned him into a figure with a shrunken appeal. For sure, his performance has no substance because Mr. Peterson was not precise in any of the answers he gave to any questions. So he has the atheist that he had no conviction to the core theological tenet, which led to his audience to confusion and his intellectual discourse. His vagueness on his part, his total inconsistent performance on questions rather than give a definite statement. He was intellectually dishonest because he didn't take a epistemological stance when he represented the opposite thinking of views of the atheists. But he may be playing it safe not to alienate a diverse audience that might not see eye to eye with his theological conviction. Moreover, that comes with the cost of Mr. Peterson's intellectual integrity. He should reveal his theological identity regardless of its popularity or whatever he is protecting. Therefore, Mr. Peterson went into a game of theological verbal gymnastic that left him with no credibility. Will anyone show Mr. Peterson empathy if they think he is being intellectually and theologically dishonest in his answers that he provided in this debate? Mr. Peterson showed no rational analysis of any questions that were asked by the atheists in this debate. And that is the fundamental currency of an intellectual debate. And Mr. Peterson avoid all that is required in a debate to show one has any credibility. His answers were more viewed as emotional outbursts rather than coherent sentences or answers. What do you think? Let's hear it in the comment. And remember to subscribe, like, and share.